Hi and welcome to episode 61 of the Beks Creates podcast. My name is Beks and I'm coming to you from unsurprisingly grey, drizzly Bristol, where I live with my husband Paul and our little boy Jasper. Hi, welcome back. It's nice to see you all. I hope you've all been surviving this wet grey winter. We had one day this week of it was like a little taste of spring. It was sunny, it was warm, it was like 12 degrees, it felt so warm, and I was just like going around like soaking it up. But the weather's been so bad since. I said to somebody this morning, it feels like I dreamt it. It just feels like it never happened. But hey, we keep slogging on. It's not long now till the clocks go forward and everything will be better. I forgot what I was going to say. I feel a bit rusty this morning and I feel a bit unprepared. I was like, I've got quite a small window in which to podcast. I really wanted to podcast from my newly decorated living room, which I'll talk about later. And Paul and Jasper at swimming lessons this morning, so I wanted to get this done. But as it is always in our house, Saturday mornings are a little chaotic because we have a really slow start and then we go, oh yeah, we've got stuff to do, better crack on. So yes, and the hair is wet because I've just done it, but I know you guys don't mind. So here we go. I've got quite a lot to show you today. Not many active whips particularly, but I've got loads of other things to talk about, so should all be good. So first of all, I'm going to start off with the finished object that I stupidly forgot last time, which is a design that is now available to buy, and that is my Liberty lace cowl. So here it is. This is the third in my Liberty lace collection. So I launched the Liberty lace socks in 2021. And then, was it last year, I think, 2024, I think I did the Liberty lace mitts, which are here. And then just this week, I launched the Liberty lace cowl. So, I launched it without any kind of warning because I was just like, it's been ready to launch really since December, but I just haven't got around to it. So I was like, right, come on, let's just do it. While there's time, let's just do it. So that's what I've done. So all three patterns are really simple. The lace is amazing because it looks very intricate, really, really pretty, but it's really simple. There's 2 lace rows, 2 plain knit rows, and the 2 lace rows are very similar. So it's very easy and intuitive. So it's got this wide panel of the lace, which I've put just sort of off center. And then it's got this simpler sort of eyelet lace design down the back. And the rest is just stockinette, nice and easy. The mitts are very similar. So the mitts have the pattern on the back of the hand and then the little columns running down the palm. And then I couldn't find a pair of the socks. I think I wore them the other day, so they're in the wash. But the socks are the same. The pattern goes down the front of the foot and the 2 columns run down the back of the leg. So really, really pretty, really soothing and easy to knit. And they just look so pretty. The mitts are super quick to knit. And I have designed them so that you can get all 3 out of 2 skeins of 4-ply yarn. So quite economical too. I've still yet to knit a matching set in the same yarn because every time whenever I do the next pattern, I'm like, right, I'll knit them in the same yarn as the first one or the last, the previous one. And then I'm like, oh, but I want to do it in this yarn. So, it's fine. One day I will make mitts, definitely mitts to match this cowl because it goes really nicely with my coat. This is knit in the Dude colourway from Bird Street Yarn, and the colourway was actually designed for this cowl to go with my Scamp and Dude coat. So absolutely gorgeous. So this is now available on Ravelry. Sorry, I can't talk this morning. And I currently have an offer running, which I will extend till the end of February. And that is, if you use the code Liberty, you can get the cowl, the mitts and the sock pattern for £10, which would normally be 15. So it's a decent saving. So the code for that is just the word Liberty. And yeah, that will get you £5 off the set of 3 patterns. If you already have the socks or mitts, you can just use the podcast discount code, which runs all the time anyway. And that is podcast 20, and you'll just get 20% off of the cowl. So yeah, if you already very kindly purchased the mitts or the socks and don't need the full set, then you can get the 20% off of this, and that runs all of the time. So yeah, it's a lovely, quick, easy knit. I think these make really nice gift knits. I'm sure I've made some of the mitts for gifts before, and they've been really greatly appreciated. So yeah, really lovely pattern, even if I do say so myself. It is my favourite, and it is my most popular seller. So yeah, so there we go. Okay, on to the next finished object, which you can obviously see. So I have finished my tulip sweater by Along with Anna. I'm a little bit warm in it, I won't lie. So I am so pleased with this. I'm just going to tilt the camera so you can see. There's the crossover panel. Now, I wanted to block it before I showed you, but I didn't have time to wet block it. And when I went to try and steam block it this morning, my steamer has broken. So I just had to like do the old tea towel and a gentle iron over it. But this bit does keep flipping under, so it does need a proper wet block, but I will get round to that. I love this jumper so much. It was a bit of a labour of love because basically it's like knitting a cardigan, because you've got the 2 layers, and this layer, they're kind of, they are shaped like tulip petals. They're shaped same, but opposite ways. So it is like knitting a cardigan. It's purling a lot, which I don't mind. I don't mind at all. But it did take me a long time. So it's knit in Bird Street yarn, of course, what else, in the Lulworth colourway, with the alpaca silk cashmere base and the Surrey alpaca silk fluff base, which sadly I don't think John's going to dye this colour on the fluff. It won't, well, it's certainly not exactly the same as this, because he said it's quite a tricky dye to use, and it splits and it's quite hard to get it consistent. So he's a perfectionist. If it's not going to be perfect, he won't do it. So but he does loads of other gorgeous colours in both of these bases, so I would really recommend this yarn for this project because it's just beautiful. It's so cozy, it's so soft. I love the neckline. It's got a folded neckline, and you do that, so it's, the construction's so clever. Basically you knit the top of the back, then the top of the front, and you knit the top of the front again for this layer, and then you do all sorts of other things to join it, etc. And then a bit later on you put the neckband on to join the layers together, which is really clever. And it's a folded neckline, which I love. I always think it looks really professional, and it's just a really nice finish. It's got set-in sleeves, which I've never done before, but I enjoyed and I like. And yeah, I just love it. I'm so happy with it. It fits really well, and I think will look even better for a gentle block. And I think Claire and John are going to be taking this as a sample to unravel next weekend. So if you are going, give them hugs from me. I'm very jealous that you'll be there and I won't, but it's, you know, I can't go to all the shows. I go to Big Flock and the Southern Wall Show, and that's kind of it at the moment because my weekends are busy. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely time if you do go there. Okay, so that is the tulip sweater. Sorry if I keep touching the microphone, I keep forgetting it's there because it's under my hair, so I'm trying to make sure it's exposed so I remember that it's there. I'm sorry if it's a bit annoying. Okay, my next finished object is this gorgeous pair of socks. Now the pattern is slightly lost on it, although you can see it better in real life, I think. See these twisted stitches? Yeah, that's better. These are the Morning Beautiful socks by Twinset and Pearl. Lovely range. I knit these in. I've forgotten the yarn and I don't have the tag. It was a cotton blend yarn that I got from the Oxford Yarn store. I can't remember. If you go back to my last episode, it will say. But it's lovely. It's very, very soft. It doesn't feel like cotton at all. I think it was like a cotton polyamide blend, something like that. And these socks just basically knit themselves. They were very quick. I didn't do the heel and the toe that were in the pattern. I just used the stitch pattern on the sock. But yeah, it was a really, really lovely knit. And I think this pattern is one of Rachel's Myeloma charity patterns. So really worth going to purchase for a very good cause. So yeah, I think, I'm undecided. I did think I might put these in my pile of Christmas socks for next year because they kind of, the colourway sort of faintly reminds me of like Christmas cake or something like that. But having said that, I do feel like I'm in need of some new everyday socks because I think I said last time, lots of my socks now are quite old and they're going a bit crispy crunchy, or they're not as long as in the leg as I prefer now. I wear quite a lot of like crop jeans and boots and I don't like having a gap between. I want my socks to come quite far up under my jeans so that when my boots go on, I don't get any bare leg ever because so yeah, don't know, maybe I don't need that many new pairs of Christmas socks, so maybe I'll keep these for every day. I think that's probably a better idea. Okay, so moving on to works in progress. Because I literally finished this on Thursday, I think it was, and it's Saturday today, I've not really cast anything on to replace it yet, so I don't have loads of active whips, but I have got a new one that you haven't seen before, in fact 2 new ones. First of all though, I'm going to show you quickly my Camille sweater, which I've been knitting for a fair old while by my standards. The Camille sweater, I think, is by Johanna Garish, is that right? Yes. And it's like a wrap sort of jumper which you can wear with the crossover on the back or on the front. And I'm knitting it sparkly. I've got no, oh goodness, what has gone on here? I have currently got no stitch stoppers on here, so I need to go careful. But I have now finished the body, and oh, look at that sparkle. Oh, it's glorious. That makes me want to crack on with it. So I'm at the point now where it tells you to leave the bottom edge on the needles and then pick up and do an I-cord around the edge of like the wrap, basically. So it'd be like around here, around the back and down there, and then you do an I-cord bind off on the stitches that you've got. But I think I wanted to use DPNs because I just find doing a little I-cord like that easier on DPNs because you can just slide it back and forth very quickly. But these were not quite the right size. I think that I need to go up a bit because it's feeling a little bit tight and I don't want it to like pull up. And also these DPNs are too short and they were like really digging into my hand when I was knitting. So I think I just need to whip that back. I've not done very much anyway, although it was taking ages, and I need to do that again. But I think I was kind of tempted to leave this on hold for a while because I don't think I'll really wear it again till like next winter. So I think I might leave it till maybe like September or something when I'll be starting to get excited for wearing it, so the I-cord won't maybe feel so much of a slog. The sleeves shouldn't be too bad because the sleeves are knit just straight. There's no decreases, although I might do a little bit of a decrease, I'm not sure yet. And then you just literally put an I-cord on the end to kind of cinch it in, so there's no ribbon anywhere, which is quite helpful. So this I-cord I'm on now is kind of the real sloggy bit, I think. and I'm a little unsure as to how my sequin yarn is going to last. So to remind you, I am using the Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk and this sequin yarn which I got from Temu, I'm loving it. It's working up really nicely. I'm really happy with the gauge. The gauge is, it's hard to describe because it is a closer, like a tighter fabric than the one in the picture. The one in the picture is very diaphanous, but, oh, and I should say I'm holding this double. But at the same time, because this yarn is technically a heavier weight, yeah, it's sorry, I'm not explaining this well at all. I got gauge with this yarn, but probably with a much smaller needle because the fabric is thicker than the one in the pattern. So it's a different feel, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Goodness me, I made hard work of that, didn't I? So yeah, I don't think there's like too much really hard work to do. And I think I've just started this cone of sparkle, just for the bottom, I think it was like the last row. And I used 2 to do the entire body. So 1 should do the sleeve, shouldn't it? It should do. I'm not using it for the I-cord around the edge, and I won't use it for the I-cord bind off. So I think I'll be fine. And if not, I'm sure I can get something exactly the same. Because the sequins are all one colour. They're all like this holographic cobalt blue, which I just love. So yeah, I think it will be an absolutely gorgeous knit when it's finished, but I think that's going to be a bit of a put it on the back burner for now because I've got quite a few other things I really want to crack on with. I'm finding I've got a few sort of planned knits that I've actually wanted to knit for a really long time and I still want to knit, which I take as a really good sign. So I want to get onto those before anything else distracts me from them, really. Okay, so my next whip is a good old Lento sweater. I've got a picture of the back of it there, which is by Jonna Helen, and it was done for Lina magazine. And I've knit several of these before. It's like my go-to raglan sweater, basically, because it's like a lovely fit, really nice amount of positive ease, and just really simple. And again, folded collar, which I love. You do a provisional cast on, knit the collar, then fold it over and knit the 2 ends together, and then off you go. So you get that nice folded collar without having to go back to it at the end, and it's lovely and stretchy. This yarn was yarn that I very luckily received from my in-laws for Christmas. So it is the Yarn Smith's Merino DK in its shade 3410, which I can't remember. It was something like candy floss pink or fondant pink or something like that. It's like just a pale, like ballet pink. And then this yarn, which is I've got a tag somewhere, the Rico Creative Make It Tweed, which is just like a carry along yarn. So it doesn't affect your gauge, but it just gives you like a lovely tweedy fabric, which I just think is lush. It's really great for, like, you know, just making something a bit more your own. So yeah, I'm not very far into this. I've almost finished the first lot of raglan increases, but I've not done loads of work on it, and it's come along quite quickly. I think that'd just be like a lovely everyday throw it on with jeans kind of sweater. So yeah, coming along nicely. I think it's always good to have just a really nice, easy round and round sweater for those times that you just need it. My final work in progress is another ribbed sock. So you heard me talk about my ribbed socks on the last episode, and I asked if anybody would be interested in a pattern for my ribbed socks, because I'm really happy with the pattern I've kind of developed for this. And I didn't think a lot of people would be interested because I thought most people didn't really like rib, but actually quite a few people responded and all said, yes, please, I'd really like the pattern. So that is now my next pattern in the works, and hopefully should only take a few weeks. This isn't going to be the sample though. I've got another yarn that I'll show you in a minute, to use for the sample. So I think I might, when I finish this sock, cast on the sample socks so I can get the pattern out, and then I'll come back and finish these. So these are being knit with Bird Street yarn Christmas at Barbie's colourway. So these are definitely going in my Christmas box of socks. I just love it. These like minty greens, like real proper like Christmas tree green, and then the pops of pink. I just love it so much. And it had to be complemented with some neon pink, which I can't remember where this is from. It was just like, I think it was a mini that came with a sock set that I didn't end up using, so just whipped it out of stash, but it just looks perfect in these cute little stripes. I did nice thin stripes, so when they're on and they pull it even thinner, they'll just be like quite dainty little stripes. So very pleased with those. We went away a couple of weeks ago and I did a lot of this knitting in the car, so feels like it knit itself really. I think I knit most of the leg on the journey there, so lovely, quick and easy. And yes, the pattern will be with you soon, so watch this space. Okay, so that's all for whips. So now I'm just gonna lift up this box a second because I do have quite a few acquisitions, but I've got some things to share with you guys, so keep an eye out till the end for that. And we had a wee flock, as our lovely Ruth loves to knit would call it, last weekend, where we have a yarny get together and a mini marketplace, so I have some bits from that. So I don't really know where to start, if I'm honest. So when I went away a couple of weeks ago, we were staying in Warwickshire, and we were quite near Leamington Spa, and I knew Leamington Spa had a Sostrena Grena, so I had to pop in. I needed a few birthday presents, so that was good. And what I also wanted to get was a few little notebooks, which I will come back to later on. So I'm just going to tuck this one down here, actually, keep you hanging a bit longer. So I have also got Claire very kindly came to my house. I think she was babysitting possibly, I can't remember. She came over and she bought me yarn, bless her. So she gave me this skein, which is called I Am and Always Have Been, and I expect if you're a fan of Traitors you will have picked up on the reference. This was their first month of their new Telebox Club, which I've got to say I've seen. Well, this month, February's is already out, I think. March is already done. I've seen it. It's gorgeous. And I think I may have also seen April's. And I know some of the ones that are coming up. They are stunning and you want them. And the attention to detail that they are putting into these parcels as well. Like with this one, it came with a note that says, by order of the Traitors you must knit. And it, like, the mini came in a little like black paper bag with a red wax seal on it. It's just brilliant. The mini is called Cloak. It's all Bird Street yarn tonals have like one word names, and that is perfect, and it's just gorgeous. And I think this might have to be a pair of socks for Paul because he loves Traitors. We're both completely addicted, as you well know. And yeah, he does need some new socks from me, so I think that will be another whip for him later in the year. Claire also gave me this really cute little Notions bag that she's made. How dinky and sweet is that? I don't know if these are available or are going to be available, so watch the Bird Street Yarn Instagram feed and website. It's got this cute little butterfly on there. It's got nice plain lining. I think Claire said she's been using like a lot of shirting sort of fabric for linings, which is a really good idea, and a sweet little drawstring. So I'll be putting that, making that into a little Notions kit to go in one of my project bags. Also at Big Flock Big Flock, Wee Flock last week, I picked up a skein of Little Scamp. John has slightly reworked this colourway because it did have some sort of black splodges, but I think he decided that the zebra provided enough little black bits. And I think it is perfection now. It's absolutely gorgeous. So this is going to be the sample for my ribbed socks, and I'm going to do the stripes, obviously, in the dude colourway. So yeah, I can't wait to wind this up and cast it on. Claire's coming tonight. I might even ask her to bring the electric winder. And Claire gave me this. I'm assuming it was probably a second. Yes, it is, because it's got a big splodge of yellow that's not supposed to be there, but I don't mind. And this is their new colourway for the spring, which is called Geum. And it's just like the gorgeous, most soft, warm pink. That's showing up really true to life, actually. Lighting's good today, I'm happy. But actually, look how lovely it would be held with that. Actually, I've got a little scrappy project in mind, which some leftovers from that and this could be used, so that'd be lovely. Then so at Wee Flock, there's always a Bird Street stand, lovingly worked by myself. I'm always there serving you and helping you choose and just generally having a lovely time. I just like nosing in what combinations people pick and finding out what they're planning to knit. It's just so fun. And of course, knitters are always fun to chat to. So I live my best life. And there's always another vendor there. And that sort of changes every month. We've had lots of different ones in the past. And this month, very excitingly, we had a brand new first time vendor vendors, should I say, that happen to be very good friends of mine. And may I introduce you to Notion and Needle, which is run by my friends Lucy and Rach. And they have started a little business with some things that I'm going to show you. Their store's beautiful. Their things are so professional. And I know that they've been photographing things this week for their Etsy shop. So watch this space, because as soon as it's launched, they will pop it out on Instagram, and I will let you know on here as soon as I can. And they have given me a little something for you guys, so I'll show you that in a minute. But first of all, I'm going to show you the goodies. I was going to say that I bought, but actually Claire very kindly got them for me for running the shop, so thank you. So the first thing is, so Rachel makes lots of resin cast notions, stitch markers, earrings, bag charms, that sort of thing. And she came up with this great idea, which is sets of stitch markers and earrings, so you can wear the same jewellery as you're knitting, which I just think is just too lush. So I got these really gorgeous, they just remind me of opals. I thought they were lovely, little sparkly white resin earrings, and they're on a stainless steel back, so they should be hypoallergenic. I'm quite sensitive with earrings, and I've had some other earrings that Rachel's made me and they've been fine. And then, sorry, it's really hard to show you, but the stitch markers are like little like ovals and squares with like rounded corners. I can't wait to use those. I think they're just gorgeous. And everything, I just love their packaging, their attention to detail. It just all looks really lovely. Very proud friend, I must say. They also had lots of bits like these fun pin badges. They had pin badges like I'd never seen before. They were so fun. It was really hard to choose, but it had to be this one just because this cat looked like my Mufasa did. So it had to be this one. And it says crochet because murder is wrong. And then you'll see a theme to my purchases. In these sweet little tins were the most. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you these very well. No, hang on. Let me see if I can do it this way. So little handful so you can see the colours. They are cat stitch markers. And I love these kind of stitch markers. They're great for sweater knitting for like your raglan increases. But being cats is even better. And the colours, can you see the colours there? They're just so cute. And their prices were very reasonable too. So yeah, as soon as that Etsy shop's up, I'll let you know so you can dash over. I also bought 2 pairs of scissors just because they were too darn cool. So these were like little keyring scissors, and you slide this up and look. I just thought that was absolute genius, and I just had to have them. And then also cat paw scissors, which are just, again, brilliant. Look at these. So clever. I love them. So you can never have too many pairs of scissors in your knitting bags. So lovely job. Now, I will show you what they have given me to pass on to you. The first thing is, so Lucy hand Indian block prints lots of items. So there were lots of little tote bags and notions pouches, pencil cases. She did some gorgeous notebooks. I can't remember what else. There were so many things, gift tags. They just had, it was like a little, like a treasure box of a store. It really was. There were so many bits and pieces. So she has given us this lovely pencil case with green yarn balls stamped all over it and a matching green zip. And then Rachel let me choose some stitch markers, which have just fallen off the card. And so I chose these beautiful Monstera leaves. They're such great quality. They are finished so beautifully. And the colours, all these different greens and like golds and things. Oh, they're just stunning. And I thought green and green match nicely. And I thought, well, I should probably find some yarn from my stash to throw in with it as well. So I found a skein of, surprise, surprise, Bird Street yarn in the moss colourway on a neon net base. So it's a lovely little spring green package. Now this is going to be for UK only. Because I just can't afford to send it abroad, I'm afraid. But I have got a giveaway for those of you elsewhere in the world, so hang on. So if you would like to win this gorgeous giveaway from the lovely girls at Notion and Needle, can you leave a comment with a green heart on it? Okay, so this is UK only. So if you're in the UK and you want to enter, leave me a nice comment with a green heart emoji. For the rest of you, if you would like to enter a giveaway, because I feel like I'm doing a lot of UK only at the moment and I don't want to leave my overseas friends out. So I am going to give away a set of the Liberty Lace patterns, so all 3. If you already have them, don't worry, I'll let you choose something else. That's absolutely fine. But basically 3 patterns from my shop. And to win that, can you leave me a comment with a globe, like an earth emoji? That would be great. And so by the next time I podcast, I will choose a winner for this one. So green heart winner and a globe winner, and I will get those prizes sent to you. Because as you know, I'm very grateful that you spend time here with me, and I love reading your comments as well. So yeah, I just want to give a little bit back. Anyway, 2 more things I just want to show you, some sort of future plans, and oh dear, a rather crumpled bingo card. I've finally made my bingo card. I have 3 gaps left, and I think I already had, and I can't remember what it is, something to fill this gap, so I will tell you in a minute. So there's a couple I've kind of started or ticked off already. So I have used or started using 1 sweater quantity of the 3 that I want to use. I have used my 2025 advents, that is crossed off. Design at least 2 patterns. I'm not counting Liberty Lace because I did that last year, but I will count my rib sock, and I have another idea. I've crossed off knit some new Christmas socks, but I obviously still want to keep that going. I have started to plan my big flock workshop, which is exciting. I finished my 2025 whips, or frog them. So the only ones I have left are my Camille sweater here, and I frogged a Getting Ziggy shawl. So I'm kind of on my way with that. Knit-a-lento I've made a start on. I can't remember if I told you this last time, but I've added knit a Beks shawl because I have become a member of the Twin Set and Pearl family, and the Beks shawl is now released. So I definitely need to knit one of those. I think that might also have to be in the little scamp colourway because that would be so nice. And one that I'm going to treat myself to a new cast on today that is on my Yarny bingo board. I'm going to treat myself at nap time to casting on a jaunty shawl by Andrea Mowry. Now I printed the pattern and I forgot to bring it down, but basically I think it's a half fisherman's rib shawl, very simple, but she kind of suggests you use like scraps. You can use whatever weight yarn you want, whatever size needle. So I have gathered in here, plain boring ones are on the top, but I've got the leftovers from my Spectrum Fibre Advent. I've got some other sort of bright neon-y colours, bit of dude there, obviously. Just, I feel like I've got so many scraps that need using, so I had a little dig through my stash. I also found just some plain alpaca silk cashmere, which I might throw in there, and I also have most of a skein of this Make It Tweed. I think it was in the pastel colourway, I want to say, which I used for my slipover, which was that the Sunday slipover, I can't remember. Anyway, I think I've got enough of that left to hold with it as well, so I thought that would just be nice. And it was already on my bingo board, but I've been inspired to crack on and start it because my lovely friend Hannah from Yarnia Designs, probably one of the original podcasts I watched and definitely the inspiration for my own podcast, she has podcasted again for the first time in 4 years since she had her babies. So it's very exciting. I watched it this morning and I've forgotten what an amazing knitter Hannah is. Her knitting is so beautiful. Her colour choices are amazing. And she's an absolutely amazing designer too. She's definitely one of the people who inspired me to design as well. So really glad to see her back. I'm also getting to spend some time with her next weekend, which is exciting. And she had made a glorious jaunty shawl. So I was like, right, time to cast mine on now that I've not got much on the needles. So that is what I plan to treat myself to at nap time. And that leads me on to, very seamless segue here, to Knitosophy. So Jack and Jess are having a bit of a break from podcasting at the moment, so I thought I'd throw another question out there, and anybody that wants to join in, feel free. So my question that I was thinking about earlier when I was watching Hannah's podcast was, what is your main inspiration for the things you make? So are you a person that, trawls through Ravelry, or are you a person that just knits things that are on the Hot Right Now page, or I don't know, lots of ideas. But basically I think my main inspiration are things that my friends have knit. I quite often see, new pattern releases and think, oh yeah, I'd like to knit that. But I think I'm more compelled to knit them when I've seen friends knit them. As you know, Fran from Franny Do Makes is a big inspiration of mine. We basically just bat ideas back and forward between ourselves and knit mainly the same things. And watching Hannah this morning, I came away with a whole list of her projects that I want to knit. Also, obviously, having friends that are designers helps. I knit quite a lot of Twin Set and Pearl patterns. I generally get inspired by podcasts, especially by my friends. Quite often I find if maybe the mojo is a bit dried up and I don't know what to knit next, I will watch an episode of The Grocery Girls, because they obviously love to shout out lots of designers for lots of different reasons, and so I find that's a real good flood of inspiration. It's not very often I just go to Ravelry and just sort of trawl through. I more, find the pattern I want to knit, the inspiration of what I want to knit somewhere, and then go to Ravelry and search for that specific pattern. But interesting to know what other people do. I know there are some people out there who kind of see something in the shops and are inspired by it and, you know, design something themselves. But yeah, what do you do? Interested to find out. And then finally, to round off this episode, I wanted to share with you 3 nice things. So my first nice thing, again, kind of harking back to my last episode, I think I mentioned that I wanted to get better at recording things in my knitting, and I was thinking about it, and I think I mentioned that I was like, well, maybe I need to start a new notebook, maybe, you know, I need a fresh start with it to kind of encourage me. So when I was in Leamington Spa, I went to Sostra Grena and picked up a couple of notebooks. I got this one, which has got a cute little heart in the front and is a little bit thicker. I will say I did have a pack given to me for my birthday from my friends, which I've already used 2 out of the 3, so I wanted to stock up a bit more. I got this one, which was just like a plain craft one, and then I bought some really cool little like, they're not washi tapes, they're not paper, but just some cool little shiny tapes. So I decorated it and put this cute little knitting cat sticker on the front. And I have started using that. I've put my Lento sweater in that, and I've actually found I'm keeping it in the bag with my Lento sweater. So I might actually have a few on the go, which might mean, like, if I want to go back to a previous project and do the same thing again, I might need to rifle through a bit, but I think it's probably worth it, because I think I'm more likely to use a little notebook that's in the project bag already, because you know what it's like, you kind of get all your stuff, you get settled down in front of the TV, and then you're like, ugh, I forgot my notebook, and then I certainly would be like, I can't be bothered to go and get it, and then I end up not recording it. So I think this is the way forward for me. I used one of these little notebooks as like a project sort of planning notebook for decorating the living room, and in the end it ended up like, it got water spilt on it, it was like crinkly, and it had like receipts stapled to the cover, but it was brilliant. It was like my decorating Bible. I drew like a monthly planner in there, so I could put everything that was happening on what days, and it was just like, it was my go-to. It had all measurements in it, to-do lists, everything I needed, so it was really useful. So I'm hoping that little notebooks are the way to go. So I've got a little stash of them now. Watch this space. And I think I might fold my yarny bingo up and staple it inside one of these before it gets any more tatty. Anyway, moving on to my next nice thing. My next nice thing has to be my gorgeous new living room. I'm so happy with it. This room has needed doing for the longest time. It was last done almost 10 years ago when Paul moved into this house. And obviously with a toddler and a cat, the carpet had seen better days. The walls were all bashed about. Just so many things. I never really would have chosen the colour scheme that was in here, so it was time for a refresh. So I chose this amazing wallpaper. I love it so much. It was quite expensive, but I actually ended up only using 2 rolls and getting a refund for the 3rd, so it was totally worth it. And the quality of it just made it so quick to put up. So we had one of my teaching assistants from school is doing a bit of painting and decorating on the side, and she's amazing. So she came while we were away on holiday and painted all the walls and the woodwork. The doors, I'm so happy with the doors. I think they just look lovely. And the colour is probably not showing up perfectly, but it's Skimming Stones by Farrow and Ball, not actual Farrow and Ball paint. It's mixed at B&Q, but it's just like a lovely warm, I call it vanilla latte. It's like very pale, sort of coffee-ish. It's warm, it's lovely. Some people call it mushroom, but I wouldn't call it that because mushrooms are gross. Yeah, and we've got like quite a, well, in fact, our sofa, it's really funny. It's I'd call it petrol blue, but actually when I put this jumper on it, it's very similar colour. It's like a very similar tone, just a little bluer. So the wallpaper kind of brings out that brighter colour of the sofa. I really enjoyed finding all the accessories. There was kind of no rules when it came to accessories. Like they didn't have to be specific colours. Anything goes. So I got nice like bluey cushion here. The lampshade here I actually made from a kit, and I bought some Tula pink fabric, and I enjoyed making it so much, and it was so successful that I got a mini one for a table lamp that's over there. And yeah, I've just enjoyed collecting photo frames and bits and pieces to go in here. It's just lovely to have it so fresh and new and bright and happy. There's still a few bits that need finishing off. We've ordered a blind which is coming in a week or so, and we've got a very bare wall over there above the sofa which needs some prints or something, but we'll get round to that eventually. I don't want to just get set in for the sake of it. I want something that is going to look really nice there. So yeah, so happy with it. It was also great having a project that sort of culminated at the end of January, because it made January go so fast, because I was just busy and planning and prepping, and the fact we were going away as well really helped. We're going away the same weekend next year, so I think Paul's dreading it a bit, because he's a bit like, oh God, what decorating are you going to want to do then? But yeah, there's going to be a lot more decorating around here soon, so watch this space. And finally, my third and final favourite thing is a new TV series. Hang on, did I do this last time? Hang on, I've got this horrible feeling that I did this last time. Hang on. No, I didn't. It's okay. Phew. So we discovered a new, well, not new to us TV series. It's a weird one actually. So there was a pilot episode back during 2020 in the pandemic, which I watched, and it was fine, but I kind of didn't carry on. Oh, I didn't really notice that other series come out, and in fact there's been 3 series and 2 Christmas specials since. But when last year's Christmas special came out, I noticed it. I was like, oh, maybe it's worth giving a go. And it's a series on BBC. I've been watching it on iPlayer, called Here We Go, and basically it's about just a really average British family, sort of mum, dad, 2 kids, granny, mum's brother and his girlfriend. And the son, Sam, is like a media student, so he's always like filming a documentary, so it's sort of filmed in the style, it's like a home video basically, and it's just really funny. Like each character kind of has like their kind of thing. Like Paul, the dad, he's always got something wrong with him. It's really hilarious. He's always got like a blocked ear, or some kind of rash, or like there's one where he's been taking photos of a rash on his bottom to show the doctor, and it's come up on their digital photo frame. Things like that. It's very silly, very funny, and just like very everyday. So I started watching it, and then Paul was like sort of, you know, overhearing it in the background. He's like, oh, this is really funny. So we carried on watching the rest of it together, and then we went back and watched the pilot and the first series together, so he could rewatch that one. The second series, I think, is just utterly hilarious. There's a scene in the final episode of series 2 where the dad has his passing out parade to join the police, and it is just, I was wetting myself. And I think it is the kind of thing you can rewatch, because I think there's lots of little details that you notice second time round that you wouldn't necessarily first time. So really worth, if you want something like light, just like a little 25 minutes, half an hour, very funny, yeah, really worth a watch. Really, really good, and some really good comedy actors in there. So the creator of it is a guy called Tom Basden, who plays the mum's brother, and he was in like a comedy group called the Cambridge Footlights, and he's clearly a very funny man. It's also got Jim Howick, who is the scout leader in Ghosts, if you watch that, and he's like involved with the horrible histories kind of thing, so he's really brilliant, very, very funny. Catherine Parkinson, who was in the IT Crowd, Doc Martin, stuff like that, she's in it and she's really great. And then Granny is played by Alison Steadman, who in my eyes cannot put a foot wrong and is just such a brilliant character in it. So highly recommend. Really, really fun, really silly, very just ordinary every day. So yeah, really, really good. So I think that's all from me for now. It needs to be all from me, because the boys will be home very soon and Jasper will be wanting his lunch. So happy knitting. Don't forget to leave those comments, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.